Dear students, in the first video, I have discussed some of the features of the software GRETL. And today, I explain in detail some of the common features available with the software GRETL. I use an Excel data. It is the data on GDP, per capita consumption expenditure, CP, dividends, DPI, and the title is not important. It's only a data set. I have not specified whether the data is time series, cross section, nothing. Only the headings are given. So this is the data. I open GRETL software. You can increase the size as you like. Now I just click and drag the Excel sheet. Okay. The important data have been interpreted as okay. I give it cross section. Do you want to give the data time series? No. Let me give a little more. Okay. Now I select all these and click display values. I have all the values here, all the values, a total of 244 observations. Now, when a particular variable is selected, you will get a blue color like this. If you select all these variables will be in blue color. There is a constant here, constant 1. You need not worry about that. Now, as you can see, if I select all the variables together, and if I click variable, if I select all the variables and I click, it will not be active. So let me click just one variable DPI, and if I click variable, you will get display values, edit attributes, summary statistics, DPI, the mean, median, minimum, maximum, standard deviation, coefficient of variation, skewness, extra corpus, 5% percentile. So many descriptive statistics are available. Let me start with this first option is for opening data, save data, as usual, clear data sets, etc. Is familiarity. Then if you take tools, you have a lot of options here. You have statistical tables. These tables will give you normal distribution, T distribution, chi-square distribution, F binomial, Poisson, Weibull, Darwin, Watson, etc. Now, normal is there. The mean 0, standard deviation 1, height tail probability, I just give 1.96, okay, invalid entry, height tail probability, 0.025, okay, height tail probability 0.025, complementary probability 2 tail probability 0.05, critical value 1.96. These are terms familiar to you. Okay. Then, if you go to p-value finder, again, uh, uh, what is, I give a value 3. What is the p-value? Standard normal area to the right of 3. P-value is actual p-value is 0.0026 etc. Because this will not be available in the table, only computer will give. Then below that, distribution graphs. Again, the graphs are there. CDF instead of standard. If I give OK, you have the standard normal distribution 0, uh, extended infinitely into both the directions. Other distributions can also be, if you want the F distribution, degrees of freedom, numerator, denominator, say, and give OK, you have the F distribution. Then uh, distribution graphs, plot type. What is this plot type? That is something very familiar to us. Test statistics calculator. What is this test statistics calculator? From your basic course in statistics, you know how to test the significance of a mean, a variance, a proportion, difference between two means, two variances, two proportions, etc. And if I take a variable from the data set, so DPI, or I can change it, I take it DPI, sample mean is there, standard deviation, sample size, I specify a value, say 3000. Assume standard deviation is population value. If I give OK, null hypothesis, and you will get the test statistics 6 points. Null hypothesis is rejected. Now this is the distribution, and this is the value of the test statistics 6 point something that we have already. So similarly, if you want to test two means between DPA, GDP, etc., I give it like this, give it like this, okay, you will get the result. So tools, test statistics calculator. Then there are some non-parametric tests which I am not doing here because this is a package for econometrics at this point. Then you go to data. In the data, display values, edit values, add observations, data set information, etc. You go to data set structure. Now, the data set structure is cross-section data. You can convert it into time series or panel. If you want to convert it into time series, the computer will ask you annual, quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily, etc. etc. I give annual. Forward. From 1960, you can change it. Forward. Apply. Now your data set is like this. As you can see, it has become time series data from 1960 onwards. Time series data. And view, I can view graph of time series plots. For example, if you want the time series plot of DPI, okay, you have the time series plot of DPI like this. And you can save it, paste it wherever you want as per your choice. Okay, then summary statistics, correlation matrix, principal component, etc. Then in econometrics, we have to use log of the variables, squares, lag, first difference, log difference, time trend. I add a time trend here. What we have is time trend t from 1 to, if you want to estimate a trend line. If I want the log of this variable, that is log of dpa. Similarly, I can convert it. So add option. And suppose that you are not satisfied with any of this, then you can define a new variable. So f, for example, is equal to. So I want what to say dpi square. So I give a dpi square like this. Okay, no, there is a mistake in that. I give a um, dpi. Okay, that is dpi square. You can give, you can add your own variable. Then in the sample, uh, some options are there. You consider variables, display values, edit attributes, summary, normality test. Suppose that you want to test whether DPA is normal or not. You know, in this GRETL software, you have a Dornick Hansen test, Shapiro Wilke W test, Lilly Fora test, Yarkberg test. In all these, the null hypothesis is that the series is normal. So as you can see, here the p-value is very small. So the null hypothesis is rejected. The series is not a normal. So normality can be tested. And as you can see, this is not active panel because our data is time series. Then these are also not active. Then when you go to model, ordinary least squares, instrumental variables, etc., panel is not active because our data is not a panel. Multivariate time series, ARIMA, GARC, MIDAS, etc. are a lot of, you can estimate any model, simultaneous equations, OLS, instrumental variable, two-stage least squares, and other nonlinear models, logit, probit, etc. So in the model, you have all the options to estimate. There is a helper, user's guide is there. Then variable, unit root test, augmented decay fuller, ADF GLS test, KPSS test, Levin lin Chu test is for what you say panel data, so it is not active. Then correlogram. For example, if I want the correlogram of BPA, you will get the correlogram like this and the graph of the correlogram. 95% confidence interval. It is non-stationary. These are points that I will explain later. So, if I select all these, DPI, CP, etc., then I will get, and if you click here, you have a correlation matrix, collinearity, a lot of options are there. So you open a data set in GRETL, experiment with the options available, like transforming, converting it into time series, cross section, etc., and uh, models, which we will discuss another class.